What's up guys, it's Onyx, and I kind of want to do something a little bit different today. See, today is August 4th, 2015, and it happens to be the release of the new Dragon Ball Z movie, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of F, which is the sequel to the last movie that came out. It was Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. Now, I went to go see Battle of Gods with my friends Ryan and Sean, but I never really told anyone about how I truly feel about Dragon Ball Z. And it kind of goes back to when I was a little kid, actually. So way back before, even when I was a little kid, I always loved anime. I grew up watching a lot of the Miyazaki movies, and then that kind of inspired me to watch more and more of it. But actually, the first anime I ever watched was Sailor Moon, and that was on Toonami. And that's why I love Toonami to this day, because they give a branch out to these kids about these brand new anime action shows that are being released. But Dragon Ball Z was one of those animes that caught my attention instantly, and I was so hooked from the very beginning. It actually inspired me to go back and watch Dragon Ball, the original series that Dragon Ball Z is the sequel of, and I fell in love with Dragon Ball also. It kind of in a way gave me an escape to where I was feeling a certain way about myself, and with those characters and that storyline, I was immediately hooked into what they were saying. Now, with the new movies coming out and Dragon Ball coming in back into mainstream, it makes me really excited as a fan to see one of my favorite series come back in a really big way. Now, like I said before, I did actually go see Battle of Gods with Ryan, my good buddy, and me and him loved it. We loved seeing our childhood, something we grew up with, back on the screen, where it really never had that before. I mean, before you had the Pokemon movies, which I went to go see. I went to go see the first movie and the one with Entei, and then you had the Digimon movie, and recently, you know, some of the Miyazaki movies that have been coming out. But it's been a while since we've seen an anime movie in theater, on the big screen, and like with these movies coming out, it really gets me excited to see more and more of this stuff being come to life, and it really makes me happy in the long run. Now, with the new revival of F movie, I know Frieza's coming back to life and all this other stuff, so I kind of averted seeing that stuff, like seeing all the, you know, teasers or just the main stuff, like just about the story and whatsoever, because I didn't want to spoil anything for myself looking up to this movie. And that's why I kind of did with the Battle of Gods movie. I didn't see anything for it because I wanted to save my opinion for this movie. To me, Dragon Ball Z has always been, well, Dragon Ball in general has always been that type of manga anime that I could always go back to no matter what, and still feel the same love for it that I do even today. And no matter if you watch the Orange Boxes or Dragon Ball Z Kai, it really makes me happy that something that I loved from way before is coming back and is still impacting my life even today. And that can be said with not a lot of things. Like, you look back and you're saying, oh man, I wish they'd bring back Thundercats or Voltron, which they kind of did, but Thundercats got canceled, which really made me upset because I actually did like that show. And Voltron came back in its own unique way, but those characters changed and they didn't really stay true. With Dragon Ball, these characters have always stayed the same since, I want to say, the 1980s. Keep in mind, America didn't get Dragon Ball Z until like the 90s. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT were done by, I want to say, the early 90s or late 80s, I want to say. And keep in mind, when you look at it, that animation for that time period is pretty amazing. So overall, I just wanted to let you guys know about what I love and what I really hold near and dear to in my heart, and it's definitely Dragon Ball. And so looking up to this movie and all the people really getting excited for it, and especially since I'm going with a group of my friends who also love Dragon Ball. Well, Trev loves Dragon Ball Z abridged, but he still likes the story and the lore of Dragon Ball. It really excites me. Like, by far, Battle of Gods was trumped any midnight release I've ever went to for a movie. Like, that, just going there and the people there with you. Like, obviously, I was just like, oh man, you know, maybe these people aren't gonna be, you know, really into it, but people were into it. There was this guy I sat next to, and Ryan can quote me on this, was by far the biggest Dragon Ball Z fan I've ever seen in my life. Like, he had his Dragon Ball Z Hawaiian shirt on. I hope to see him again this year. I really do. I hope to see him again. So I'm like, dude, do you remember me? Yeah. And so I'm gonna dress him in my Dragon Ball Z stuff, going to see this movie, and we're all gonna have a blast doing it. And I think that's what it's really all about, is sharing the love of something such as an anime or manga with your friends, and actually going out to these events and seeing it right there on the screen. Like, it's crazy. And I hope for the future that they do more of this Dragon Ball Z runs, and even inspire other animes to do this. Like Naruto The Last, I would love to see that in theaters, because no Naruto movie has ever been in theaters before, and so it'll be awesome if this inspires more anime movies or more anime to post their stuff in the theaters and for American release, and that's what I really look forward to. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been Alex, and I'll catch you guys on the next Hype Box. Later!